Hi, Gail.
Hello. I knew you had the camera
I
going.
know. uh, hey, y'all. This is Joe and Gail. We're back out here at St. Bernard Acres. This is Friday afternoon, and we want to get a few things done before tomorrow morning. We're going to try to get the roof put on. Got some people coming out, and there's some stuff we wanted to do. So Gail took a vacation day, and I don't know where that is, but it was close.
Flew up in that tree.
Yeah. So we got to come out here. I cut all the 2x6s for the loft floor joists. We're going to put the top plate on and put all the Raptor ties on, get ready for the roof tomorrow. And I started recording, then it started raining. I finished cutting all the 2x6s in the rain. We had to throw everything back in the truck, so now it's done raining, we can try to pull everything back out again and go back to work. But we decided to let Gary have a break today and let Gail come out and do some work. So she can say she helped build the cabin. She does more than clean it.
Yeah, that way when he's a smart ass, I can take the cabin, he can go with his girl out to the barn.
Yeah, right. She thinks me and Maggie are going to stay in the barn.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm just going to set this up and let it record. We'll be back to you later. Does it look better?
Oh yeah, that looks a lot better.
Now,
You still have Aflac, right?
fix this, huh?
You still have Aflac?
Yeah. What?
Well, it sounded like you still have some.
Alright, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my Raptors with these Raptor ties instead of cutting a bird's mouth. The idea behind the bird's mouth, let me show you here. Let me get a board. Your Raptor lays on your top plate, like so. You cut the bird's mouth like across here and down here, perpendicular. So it has this flat area to rest on top of the plate and this area where it goes behind it. And you nail in through here, toenail it in, and toenail the bird's mouth in. That keeps this plate, this wall, from moving in or out, is basically what that does. I'm dealing with a very short roof. My rafters are only 8 feet long. That's with the overhang. So what I'm going to do, instead of cutting all these birds' mouths, I'm going to use these.
Hold it still now, so. All right.
These are hurricane straps, raptor ties. These I bought at Lowe's. They're Raptees, I think it's called. Something like that. So this takes the place of cutting the bird's mouth. These were 84 cents. And I haven't cut raptors for 40 years. I didn't want to try to get into all that. And I'm going to show you how easy these are to use. You nail this on your plate. Now, I already have my top plate laid out 24 inches on center. So I'm going to put this on here to where I know that my raptor is going to fall right across here, like so. Just about like that. So, not quite that steep. About that kind of a pitch is what I'm going to wind up with. So, get this out of here. These are 8-penny sinkers. That's what this calls for. Drive this in here. Alright, now, dang it. These two holes, this 2x4 is going to sit on top of my wall. This is going to be my double plate at the top. These two holes I'll use when I set this up on the top of the wall like so. I'll put 2 more nails in the plate that's already up on top of my studs. Then these nail holes will be for tying in my rafter once it's laid in there. Then I'll go along and nail in my rafter. That wall, that roof will not be able to lift from any wind force that we'll get out here. It's not going to be able to pull or push out from any snow load because I'm going with an 8/12 pitch, so there's not going to be much chance of load up there anyway. But I'll run all of these along my whole plates so that when we set our beam and start doing the rafters, you just drop them into here. You know, there's no measuring things, no trying to figure all this stuff. This will all be pre-done so that when we come out here to do the rafters, all of this will be hanging up. And it'll make it so fast by doing this beforehand. But alright, let me show you what I got done here. We did all of the ceiling joists, all the floor joists for the loft area. I bought the 2x6s. I bought them to length, so we're not trying to cut and mangle and twist all kinds of stuff into place. And I'm telling you, the problem with lumber, thank God this is rough framing. You know, it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be functional, because you've got to do stuff like this. These boards were so warped down on this end, I had to put that block in to draw the top board over, and the bottom block in that I rested it on to draw it the other direction, to try to take some of the warp out of this board and had to do the same thing on this one, you know, because I didn't have a stud to match it up to. So I knew I was going to cut the 2x4s to rest it on, but these 2x6s were so warped that I had to cut those extra blocks to put in there to try to draw them straight. It's a damn shame, but that's what you get. And my plan, I did a video showing you how I'm doing the top plate. I'm setting up those rafter ties before I nail the top plate and everything, and you know, it's going to make doing the rafters and everything a lot easier when we reach that point. Now, my plan was to do the rafters and the roof sheathing and paper tomorrow. But I'm out here putting up these joists. I'm like, man, I don't have this building quite square, and you know, even with braces and stuff, it's not where it should be completely. And I got to thinking, I think I'm supposed to sheathe the walls. You use the sheathing to square the walls and lock them in place, make them plumb and everything. And I'm like, I got to do that before I put a roof on this place. So I called my buddy, the builder, my neighbor. I'm like, Bobby, am I doing this backwards? Am I supposed to sheathe the walls and square the building with the sheathing before I put the roof on? And he said, most definitely. You don't want to put a roof on a building that ain't square. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of thought that. So, you know, like I said, it's been 40 years since I've done this kind of work. And I don't remember every detail about it. So, those plans have changed now. We're not going to be putting the roof on tomorrow after all, because I do have to get the sheathing done. And I can't do that because the sheathing for the roof was 8 sheets, 8 4x8 sheets. What I need for all the walls and the height of the walls that I got them, and the eaves, you know, eaves on each side, I need 19 sheets of sheathing for the walls. Well, I had enough money for the 8 sheets this week to do the roof. I don't have enough money for the 19 sheets that I would need to do the walls this weekend. So I bought the roof sheathing, but I have to wait till next payday, next weekend, to get the sheathing for the walls. So next Saturday we should be able to do the walls. Next Sunday, my friend said they would come back out next Sunday and we'll do the roof then. And we'll put a roof on a square and plumb building, which would be more to our liking. So that's, you know, that's a change in our plans. I hate to do that, but it's still going to allow us to be dried in by the 4th. But you know what? I mean, that's the way it works. I mean, people get frustrated, and I've seen enough comments about why does it take you so long, and you know, this should have been done and that should have been done. Well, there's 3 factors. Well, more than that, but 3 main factors into my methodology and the way I'm working this property out here. Number 1, I work a full-time job during the day with overtime. My wife works her full-time job at night with overtime. So it's very limited the time we get to be out here. So, you know, we're not in any giant rush to do this. We're not in a, you know, a precarious position where we have to get something built so we can move out here. This is a cabin for pleasure. So if I got to move something back a week or 2, it's okay. It's not going to, you know, kill me. But that's one of the reasons, is we work. And we live 65 miles from here. So it's not like I can get off of work, come out here and do a few hours of work and go home. I could, but I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. So we have weekends that we can come out here sometimes. We have a house in Wheeling that we have to take care of and do things at also. So one of the factors is a job. Um, Factor number two are finances. I don't have tons of cash laying around. I am, paying all my bills at home and doing all those kind of things, that people got to do. Uh, so when I can work some overtime or when I have some extra money, I can buy things for out here. And I have a budget of how much this cabin is going to cost me. And I can have fun building it as I go along. Or I can just let this place sit for, a month until I save up the money. And do it all at one time, which I can't do anyway because my job won't give me the time out here to do it all at one time. So, finances or something. So there's two factors involved in not being super fast out here and doing this. The third factor is I don't want to work that hard. I just turned 60 years old. I mean, I still like to work. I'm enjoying the crap out of this, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But again, I'm under no pressure. There's nothing that says I have to be done in a certain amount of time. I'm not getting kicked out of my house. I'm not, having to find a place to live. I want to get this done because we're going to enjoy this. And we will have at least something we can come to if the prepper side of me says if an SHTF type event happens. We can come out here and, we have the barn if worst came to worst, but we would have a nice cabin here with a stove, wood-burning stove in it and rain catchment all set up. So ideally, that's, what we'll wind up with. But again, I'm taking my time. I don't have to do it in a hurry. I want it done, but, I have to wait till next Saturday to get the money, to get the rest of the sheathing for the walls. And that's okay. It still fits in my time schedule, and it frees me up to do more work at home this weekend. I mean, Gary and I are going to come out tomorrow and finish all the top plate, get my rafter ties set, get everything ready. And I might put a few sheets of sheathing up, that I bought for the roof. I don't know if, I want to do that. I want to do all the sheathing at one time so I can put the house wrap around it to kind of help protect it. Because it might be a couple months before I get all the siding together to put on top of that. So I'm going to wrap it all to protect the OSB sheathing. Things like that I got to think about. I mean, this is not, a cheap thing. I'm using as much recycled stuff as I can, but a lot of stuff I have to buy. And a lot of stuff, if I got sheathing up and house wrap, I can stay in here. We can start using the inside of it while I'm saving up the money to get the siding. I mean, I'm going to need 20 sheets of the siding, and that's $30 a sheet. So there's a $600 bill to put all the siding up. And that's okay. I'm not complaining. I'm not, I understand that's how it works. But that's the stuff I want to use, so that's what I'm going with. And I can wait and save the money and buy it. So, for all those people who say I'm not doing it fast enough or they're not happy with my progress, I'm extremely happy with it. And, I'll title my videos my cabin build. And you only have to look at those. It may be 3 months before you see this thing done. It's okay. I don't want it to be, but if it is, it is. But I'm going to stand here and look out my kitchen window because now we can see, how big the kitchen area is going to be. And if the sun doesn't kill the camera, this is going to be the bathroom area. Gary and I are going to build a wall, come out about 5 feet, and build another wall across here with a door in it. and I'm gonna have a little shower stall and a composting toilet or some kind of a toilet in here, um, and rain catchment that we'll take showers in and stuff. You know, so it's gonna be a cool little cabin. It's gonna be a cool little loft. You know, if we have visitors, because Gail and I are not climbing up into a loft to sleep. We'll get us a futon or something for in here. But we got storage up there, and if kids come out to visit, they can stay up there. But it's going to be a nice size loft. And just thought I'd take advantage of it while I was building it. Uh, but that's it. That's today's video. I hope y'all aren't too disappointed. You don't get to see a roof this weekend, but you'll get to see some stuff. This is Joe, and Gail's off wandering looking for wildlife somewhere out of St. Bernard Acres. That is all.